Your world is a mirror. I am going to explain to you guys that your world is literally just a mirror of your thoughts, a mirror of your mindset. Your life, your experiences are literally just made up of your assumptions. That's why it's called law of assumption. Now, it could be made up of your assumptions alone, or it could be made up of your assumptions that you've picked up, like maybe you've picked it up from society, maybe you've picked it up from your family, from your friends, the people around you, your coworkers, even TV, music, radio, podcasts, I don't know. But let me explain. For the examples that could be your own assumptions, it could come from your experiences from growing up. Let's say that you grew up with no money or little to no money. So your thoughts are going to be your thoughts that you identify with your story. Your mindset is going to probably be, oh, well, I can never keep money. I don't have enough money. Money doesn't come easy. You can't just find money. No one just gives you money for nothing. I have to actually work hard to get what I want. I'm so broke. I don't really have enough money. That kind of stuff. Other stuff based on your experiences with people in your life could be, I'm never chosen. I'm always second choice. I'm always second pick. Oh, they don't want to talk to me. No one really wants to talk to me like that. No one really responds to me fast. I'm always the friend. I'm always the backup friend. I always get ignored. Or maybe you've had positive experiences in life, so your mindset is a little bit different. Maybe your assumptions are different. You could have positive ones, like people just love to talk to me. My personality is so addicting. I'm so addicting. My vibe is just addicting. People love me. People love talking to me. People do anything for me. I'm so confident. I'm that girl. I'm the it girl. I'm amazing. Of course I'm chosen. Of course I'm always chosen. Of course I'm first pick. Of course I'm always number one, first pick. I'm the best. And then there are more societal assumptions that society has really pushed onto people. I don't know, because I think that really we're kind of trained to be negative, which is unfortunate because people do complain a lot. Let's face it, people do complain a lot. It could be stuff like life is hard. You can always get what you want in life. You can't do what you love. You have to fight in relationships. You have to settle. You can't find the person that you want. Dream people are rare. You can't find your dream person. Your dream person doesn't exist. You're being unrealistic. You have to struggle in relationships. You have to crawl before you walk. Life's not fair. You can't have it all. You have to go through hell before you get to the good part. Love can't be like a fairy tale. Money is hard to make. People like us don't get rich. Now hear me out. None of this was your fault. You didn't know. No one knows. No one comes into this world knowing that they have the power to choose how their life goes. No one comes into this world knowing that they do indeed create their life, because their mindset creates their life. Your mindset determines the life you lead. Your mindset determines what you experience. So this is why person A can have a totally different experience than person B. Person A's experience could be positive because they have a positive mindset. Person B's mindset could be negative because they have a negative mindset. But let me tell you, these societal assumptions are not your fault. You did not know. Nobody tells you you get to decide what is true for you. But I'm going to tell you that. You didn't claim these on purpose. You just thought it was true. You thought it had to be true because you heard a shit ton of people saying, and you heard a shit ton of people saying that this is how life is, and this is how this is, and this is how that is. And because so many people said it over and over again, you took it on as, okay, that's just how it is. That's just how life is. So many people said it as if it was true. So you just adopted that as your mindset, as your beliefs, as your assumptions. You thought this was the norm. Guess what? Just as you thought that was the norm, you can unlearn these because it's not the norm. You don't have to struggle. I want you guys to know you don't have to struggle. It all depends on what's up here. This is just going to be a mirror of whatever you claim as true for yourself, whatever assumptions you decide is true for you, whatever assumptions you claim as true for yourself. Period. Now you know, and you can totally unlearn those limiting beliefs. You don't have to stick to those negative assumptions and negative stories that were never yours in the first place. They were yours because you picked them up on it, but they weren't yours, if you know what I'm saying. They weren't actually yours. You can, again, choose not to claim them anymore. You don't have to claim them. You can free yourself. You don't have to experience struggle like this person says, oh, life is hard. You don't have to experience a hard life. You don't deserve that. You deserve something better. You deserve to experience a wonderful life. You only get one. So why would you have to struggle until you're like 70, and then when you're 70, you can't even do the things you wanted to do because you're 70. Why would you have to slave your life away? Why would you have to experience awful love? Why would you have to experience toxic relationships in order to get to the good, or even never get to the good, because society doesn't believe that there's a such thing as a perfect relationship, even though there totally can be. And I don't care what anyone says, y'all just settle. Y'all just settle, and that's why you haven't experienced it. Because you think that person you're with is as good as it gets, or you're scared to go meet new people, but you know what? That's for another video. Like I keep saying, whatever you claim to be true is what you're going to experience. This is what I mean by your world is just your mirror. It all starts with your mind. Your mindset creates your life, your reality. Your mindset determines the life you lead. Whatever you consistently Identify with. Whatever story you are identifying with is what story you're going to experience in your life. Whatever you tell yourself is true is what you're going to experience as your truth. And that means you can assume anything. You can tell yourself anything is true and it's going to be true. If you did this with bad experiences, why can't you do it with positive ones? It doesn't make any sense. Yes, you can. It all starts with the mind. Your mindset determines the life you lead. And I will keep saying that over and over and over because it's so true and I want y'all to understand this. Your world is legit just your mindset in physical format. If you don't want to call it a mirror, some people like to call it a copy machine or whatever, a physical copy printer, whatever, I don't know, a game of monkey see, monkey do. This is the boss and this is the obeyer. Whatever people like to say, I don't know. I'm just going to stick to your world as a mirror because that to me is the most point blank, straight to the point thing because it is just your mirror. Whatever you think you're going to experience, whatever you think life is going to be like for you, whatever you think is going to happen, however you think you're going to be treated in general, what you think is possible to you and what you think is impossible to you is all up to you. It all starts with your mind. What are you telling yourself? How are you talking to yourself? Your world is literally a mirror and the mirror does not lag, which means you are 100% perfectly capable of experiencing whatever you want to experience. You can indeed experience whatever you want to experience without delay, without a waiting period, without a time lag, without a long bridge of incidents. If you think you can. You can experience that fast, but you have to stop standing in your own way. When you raise your hand in the mirror, your reflection raises the hand too. The only way it's going to put the hand down is if you put your hand down first. And I want you guys to apply this to your life, which means whatever experience you're having had to happen here first, but you can totally change it by changing here. But you have to understand that you have to change here first. Whenever you smile in the mirror, what does your reflection do? It smiles too. It smiles immediately. The only way it's going to stop smiling or the only way it's going to frown is if you stop smiling or if you frown. Get it? It starts with you. It all starts with you. You cannot stand in your own way. You can experience whatever you want quickly, but you have to stop standing in your own way. The reason for the delay, because people ask, well, if the world is a mirror, why is there a delay? Because there's a delay in you. You don't think that you can have what you want immediately. You don't think life works that way. But you have to train yourself to think that life does work that way because it can work that way for you. The only reason why we don't experience that is because we were taught that it doesn't. We were taught that we can't have exactly what we want. We're taught that we have to wait a long time for things to progress. Things have to take time. Like one of my commenters commented on my other video, Rome wasn't built in a day. Stuff like that. We were taught things like that. We were taught to wait. But you don't have to wait to get what you want. You don't need to wait 15 years for your career to take off. You don't need to wait 10 years to become rich. You don't need to wait 20 years to finally find the love of your life. You don't need to do all of that. You can have whatever you want right now, I promise you. You don't have to go through 50 million friendships, bad experiences in order to finally find that one good friend. You don't need to do that. Please stop thinking that. That's so toxic. That is the most toxic mindset ever. Why would you ever want someone to go through a struggle or to go through an intense struggle in order to get to the good? People should not have to go through that. That's how you damage somebody. That mindset brings damage. That mindset of, oh, you gotta go through the bad before you go through the good, you have to go through hell, that brings damage. Why on earth, why does someone have to be completely traumatized or experience complete and utter BS in their world in order to finally manifest or experience the good? People have the excuse of, oh, it makes you stronger. No, it doesn't. It just breaks you down. I don't agree with that. I don't think you deserve to suffer. I don't think anyone does. I mean, unless they're genuinely bad, but I don't think anyone deserves to just suffer for no reason. They didn't do anything. You only have one life. We didn't come on this earth to suffer. I don't believe that you have to come here and suffer from the time you're born until you're almost done with life. That's just completely toxic. Anyway, the only reason for the delay is you, because that is also an assumption. Like I already made a video on that. I'll link it here, but that is also an assumption. It all starts in the mind. The mirror does not lag unless you think it has to be a lag. There is no delay unless you think there has to be a delay. There is no waiting period unless you think that you have to wait or there has to be a long bridge of incidents. But guess what? Like I said, you don't have to subscribe to it anymore. You don't have to keep that for yourself. If you don't think it's possible for you, if you don't think you can do that, then that's what you're going to experience. But I don't know why you would ever want to do that, because why don't you want your stuff? Anywho, test it out and change your mindset and then watch your life change too.